since we last spoke, and now we're here at New York Comic Con. It's that time of the year again.
Is it that time?
It's that time. And,
Is it that time?
And I'm holding something special here in my hand. What are we doing here? Tell us. What are you doing here? Not me. What are you doing?
Well, I'm rolling with Generation Iron today. But Generation Iron was so cool to welcome me as a part of the family and come on out and help me celebrate a wonderful opportunity to explore the world of graphic novel promotion and grow the idea that is Chronicles of King Kai.
I know a lot of people are expecting it. I know you've been promoting it very, not a lot, but very kind of gradually you've been talking about this. So I think for the first time ever, people will get a chance to see the first glimpse.
Well, yeah, because it represents a very interesting journey, I think, in my own development. Because originally I wanted to do all of my own pencils, all of my own inks. I wanted to do all of my own concept drawings. I wanted to do all of my own storyboarding. I wanted to do all of my own coloring. I wanted to do everything. And originally, I thought that was something that was doable. And, as we continue to grow and it, just become a little bit more mature, we end up realizing, wow, you know what? That's not how this is going to be done, and that's not how it needs to be done.
Team of
right.
Around.
Right. Even like with the other things that we do, even like with the stuff we've been able to accomplish with Generation Iron has been, the product of a lot of really passionate, motivated people working together, and each person accomplishing their assignment. So it's definitely this project definitely marks a personal journey for me, and whether it's in the pages, on the pages, or even behind the scenes. We are definitely learning and growing as a result of it.
Now, Kai, prior to you doing a graphic novel, when you were competing, you had a large amount of fans that were following your career. Mm-hmm. Now you're starting to do different things that adventure outside of just pure bodybuilding, like a graphic novel, different movie roles, a play, a show on stage. Do you think your fans, you're going to be able to bring the fans that you already generated over the years, or are you going to bring in more new fans that will just discover your work through artistic expression?
Yeah, I don't think the goal is to try to bring fans. I think I really don't think you have fans. I think there are people that are sitting at home or sitting in the process of their life and get a chance to witness some of the things that you're doing, and they're able to recognize that there's something in that witnessing that is fruitful for them. There's an idea that they're represented very well by, or feel like resonates well with them, and they're able to say, hey, look, I like that idea. That idea is something that I think is tangible, that I can touch, that I feel that I can relate to, and I think it's the idea that we have in common, and as a result of that, that commonality, that people will be more inclined to, want to check out what you're doing, because they recognize that there's something of them that's celebrated in that.
I want to talk about Olympia for a second. Mm-hmm. Did you get a chance to look at the pictures afterwards, or at all hear about, how the results came out?
Well, you know what? I definitely got to give a shout out to, all the athletes that I'm aware of, and that are friends of mine and are acquaintances. I'm really, really excited for, Big Ramy. I'm very excited for William Bonnock.
You gave a special shout out to him in our last interview, and he just ended up 5th place at the Olympia, and then he just won the Prague Pro.
Yes, he did.
That was some expected, but I didn't expect him to be such a great improvement. That was like the best improvement of all time.
Well, I mean, a lot of guys have really stepped up their game this year. Ruley Winkler started out in in England, the Body Power Pro Show, you know, him and Nathan.
Nathan, of course. Oh yeah.
You know, much improved the season, and just really kicked off the season for those guys.
Yeah.
You know, in
People
some
compare
really
William
big ways.
Bonek to you a lot. I think it's because of the hair, maybe. I don't know why.
I think
they keep comparing.
Well, you know, that dude is thick. You know, he's thick. I got a chance to see him through the in Spain. I think it was Spain last year, and I remember thinking, what? You know, he's actually been working very hard. You know, so yeah, this season, I think you got a chance to see some athletes step into a really cool place. You know, even earlier in the season, you got a chance to see, like at the Arnold Classic, you know, Mr. Compton and
Right.
you know, Cedric McMillan. You know, I still want to say that I believe that the sport is still alive. You know, and you know, even Phil Heath looked amazing this year. I mean, you know, I've heard a lot of things, but the truth is, you know, behind the scenes, quiet as kept. That dude really dealt with a lot, and you know, he really did. There's what he brought to the stage meant that he really had to hold it together, you know, in ways that I think the world does not get a chance to understand or even realize when they're privileged to watch it from their couch, you know. So, you know, I even got to give, you know, props to him. You know, he did, you know, there's the work that people see in front of the camera, and then there's like the real work that's done behind the scenes that the camera isn't there to pick up and witness, you know. And you definitely got to give credit where credit is due.
Now, Sean Roden got second at the Olympia.
Yes, he did.
It was the highest placing he achieved so far. But yet people are saying that even though he got second place, there's absolutely no way that he can actually get the top placing just because of his shape, and he doesn't have that. Some people say he's lacking personality in his posing or something like that, you know. I mean, do you think he has a chance at the first place?
I mean, it doesn't matter.
Right.
What matters is what the man says, and you know, whether or not the powers that be are willing to acknowledge the work and the effort, you know, or whether or not you have a situation that's set up that looks like it's willing to accept that, you know. I just see people that are working, you know, and there's a lot of work that I now know goes into the process of producing the product that's seen in front of the camera, and the product that the work effort that goes on that the camera will never see, you know.
Did you get a chance to see Kevin Lerone's performance or pictures from his?
Yeah, man, shout out to Kevin Levrone. I mean, you know, the truth is the dude did an amazing job, you know, you know. What he did was nothing short of awesome and incredible. There were a lot of athletes over the last, you know, 2 decades that have at one time or another decided that they were going to come back, you know, and they started doing the interviews and they talked about it, and they, you know, not too long after they started though, they ended up realizing, man, this is a really, really interesting set of challenges that you have kind of taken on your shoulders when you do that. It's not an easy thing to do, and he was removed from the sport for more than 15 years or so. And you know, really, that's a whole nother body, and the work that it had to take in order to produce that, I believe, was almost the equivalent of starting from zero. You know, a lot of times, you know, we take for granted that when we're 30 that we've been 30 already, you know, and not realize that, wow, though you may be 30 now, you've never been 30 before. This is your first time, you know, and the discomforts that may come along with that, you know, having discovered yourself to be a year older, you know, or 30 years older than you were when you first got this lease on this new body. It's a very interesting set of challenges that a lot of times is very, very difficult to understand. You know, oh, well, you know how to diet, right? You know how to get in shape. different. You know, he's over 50.
I think the fans loved it also. I mean, just in general, the people enjoyed that type of, because it wasn't, I guess, you know, the rivalry component was missing from Olympia this year. So the fans wanted some kind of excitement, you know, outside of just a regular, you know, lineup. And I think he brought that, something different, you know.
It's not by
unexpected.
accident that happened. I mean, you know, it was necessary. You know, the page turns. The next day and the next day will come. You know, the business has to go on, and you know, it still has to, you know, conduct itself in a way that will help, you know, secure a bottom line for it. So it can't just dwell on the past. You know, they have to, you know, they have to continue. You know, and yeah, you know, I think, you know, Kevin Lerone did what he was supposed to do, and I definitely support it.
Absolutely. Well, listen, I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
And success this weekend, specifically at the Comic-Con. There's going to be a lot of people out here, man. So I know you're going to be very busy, and I can't wait to read this in detail, man.
Uh-oh.